Imagine yourself presenting your latest research paper in Japan at an academic conference. In that setting, you most likely will be given a headset, and you'll be talking through an interpreter your presentation, and also during the Q&A time, all the questions from audience will be interpreted back to English to you. So you'll be probably using an interpreter. Well, my research is on an interpreter. I specifically focus on interpreters working within business context or within corporations. So as you've seen the title, I asked whether they are precarious premium office flowers. So what do I mean by that? The research itself is cross-disciplinary, so I look at how does gender play out in this setting. By this I mean that most of the interpreters tend to be women, so we may potentially say that they are gendered occupational category, which may lead to feminization of working conditions. So in the research where I use ethnographic approaches, I use the two images where I ask participants, 10 based in Melbourne and 10 based in Tokyo, to reflect back on their experience of work as interpreters within companies. So the image right up the top is the image of a traditional office lady, usually epitomized as brightening up the atmosphere in the office. And traditionally in 1970s, companies just hired young women just to brighten up the office, and then they were encouraged to resign, marry, and stay at home and be mums. So on the one hand, I have this image, and on the other hand, I have an image of a professional freelance interpreter. So I see interpreters within the corporations as potentially being located at the intersection of these two traditional employment paths for women. So far, I have collected data, as I've mentioned, through the essays and also through face-to-face in-depth interviews, both through face-to-face and Skype. And the data points to emotional labor or surface acting. So interpreters, there are two cohorts. One cohort engages in what I call voluntary surface acting, where they kind of act feminine, praise their boss, brighten up the atmosphere, very much similar to the traditional office lady or the oil. And the other cohort is very much ambivalent, or to some extent adopts this sort of feminine look, and sometimes questions. Talks about feeling frustrated when they ask some tough business questions, and their male colleagues sort of don't want to answer these and tell them that they lack in femininity. So in short, my research is on how gender of an interpreter plays within the work, and they work with the precarious conditions because they work mostly on 3-month ongoing contracts, which are usually perma-temps. Thank you.